More business, less tradie means write things down. Now, hey there, tradies. Your memory is not as good as you think it is. If you want to build a successful business, which I'm sure you do, that's why you'd watch a business that gives you more money, makes you more money, gives you more time off, and gives you more freedom from it, then you need to act more like a business person and less like a tradie, because that's what will give you a better business. And part of that means understanding that your memory is fallible and that you should write things down. It means developing disciplines and systems, of course, about writing stuff down, about communicating in writing, putting things in writing, not trusting your fallible memory, but not just you, everybody's fallible memory. Right? I do mean yours, of course I mean yours, but I mean everyone's too, right? Your customers, your staff, your suppliers, your business partners, everybody. I see a lot of stuff done, right? Very tradie behavior and kind of an old school thing, you know, business done on a handshake, that kind of thing, is doing things verbally, right? Agreeing things verbally, making agreements verbally, giving instructions to people verbally, buying things, placing orders verbally, or making arrangements verbally. And that's fine, right? We should be able to trust each other. However, it's fallible, right? It creates problems. Different recollections of what was said. You think you said one thing, I think I heard something else. Your customer, you made one statement about price, your customer remembers it slightly differently, etc. Stuff goes wrong. You forget to do things, you have misunderstandings about how things need to be done, misunderstandings about how much things are going to cost, about when things are going to start. It's very common, right, for these things to happen. The answer, of course, is have a system, and including a system for putting it in writing. No one can argue with it then, can they? I'm going to tell you a story about my shitty memory, because that's fun, right? And because it's all of us. It might help you remember and internalize that your memory's shit and you should do this. I'm going to walk you through some trade business interactions that often don't get written down and should. And I'm going to encourage you to write yourself a commitment in the worksheet to making yourself a little system, which I'll explain, for writing these things down, for making that a habit and a system in your business that things are done written. So you reduce miscommunication, misunderstanding, and fuck-ups. The download is a checklist of these for you to go and implement into your business, a worksheet. So first, the story. I had a friend called Ted, nice guy, he was a plumber. I lived in Sydney, he died a couple of years ago, which was very sad, and I communicated a nice memory to his wife Elaine, where I said, oh, I've got this fun memory of Ted. He went to jail for a week. Somebody didn't pay him, and he went onto their property and took the piece of plumbing out of their pool house that he'd installed, and he got done for trespass. So don't do that, by the way. You're not supposed to do that. He got done for trespass. He did a week in jail because he refused to pay the fine. Now, Elaine came to Byron a couple of months ago, met up with her, and she said, thanks for that nice memory about Ted. It's not true. He got let off. So I have a very clear, strong memory of Ted telling me, I can even picture sitting around his table, that he was going to jail or he'd gone to jail. And it's completely wrong, he didn't go to jail. He got let off. Presumably my memory is that he told me he could go to jail perhaps. That was the potential fine, or that he would go to jail rather than pay because fuck them, right? He was a bit like that, Ted. My memory was completely wrong. He never went to jail. That's how fallible your memory is. I'm sure you've got similar instances in your life where you've had a clear memory of something and it's been wrong. So yours is the same, your customers' memories are the same, your staff's memories are the same, your suppliers and your partners. We're all the same. Our memories are not that great. We remember things wrong, we misunderstand them when in the first place, we interpret situations differently, right? Your memory is not good. It's good to clarify, it's good to have it written. So here's where you go wrong, here's where we go wrong, people. Your tasks. We'll start there. Number one, the things you need to do. You often don't write down what you need to do you? I've seen people do it. I do it myself, I'm sure. You trust yourself to remember, and that doesn't always work out very well. Right? What you do need instead is a systematic way to write down all your jobs and check that you do them all so you don't forget and the jobs get done. You could use Outlook, you could use G Suite tasks, you could use notes on your phone, you could send yourself an email, you could voice message your assistant, or you could ring your assistant and say, write this down for me to do. I use a day book, which is a book that I write in. I write everything in it. I write the date on it when I start the day. Everything is in that book. If I want to find something I need to do, look back through my book. If I want to find something I need to remember, it's in my book. I tick them off. I make lists every day and tick them off when I've done them, or put a line through them when I've done them. That's my system for making sure I do all my jobs. You could do that. You could use a big diary with a page per day. You could use your phone. You could write tasks in the list, in Outlook or in Gmail or in your notes. Right, you could, like I said, you could voice message your admin or call your admin if you're in the car and say, write this on my list of jobs for me to do. How does that? Pick one of those systems that works for you and write your jobs down, your tasks down. Stop forgetting them. Your appointments. Keep meeting people who make an appointment, make an agreement to meet me or someone else, and don't make it. Don't show up because they didn't write it down or commit themselves to going. So do you put your appointments, any meetings you schedule, in your calendar and go to them all? If the honest answer is no, not always, then you should do that. You should learn a system and get into the habit and stick to it of putting anything that you're going to attend in your calendar and checking your calendar and going to all the things. Don't just sort of scamper off to work and forget about the calendar, right? The calendar is where you're going to go today. The calendar should be synced between your phone and your computer. All meetings and appointments, including travel time, should be in there, and that's where you should go and who you should see. Or why would you bother agreeing to do it? You need a system to get them from, yeah, I'll meet you at 2 on Thursday, mate, to in your calendar, don't you? So you don't just carry on with your day and not put it in there at all. And you need a system so you check your calendar and go to all your meetings that you've agreed. You can put it in straight away. You can message it to someone and say, put it in my calendar, your admin, if you've got one, before you forget. I think that bit's quite important. You can set reminders, you can pay attention to them. You can have your admin ring you and say you need to be in a meeting in 20 minutes. Right? You've got lots of options here. You know, you don't need to be a super genius and remember everything yourself. The systems are there, the technology is there, and the people are there to help you out. Pick your system and, importantly, stick to it. Number 3, agreements with customers. I touched on this before, didn't I? I'm talking about quotes and variations, of course I am, but also agreements that you'll have a variation, that you'll write a variation, and that agreements about dates, agreements about availability and how that's changing. Okay, rules about who can come on site and who can't. Anything. If someone said it and it matters, write it down. The format here is like an email confirmation, right? If you agree something verbally in a conversation with your customer, write them an email saying, this email is to confirm what we agreed in our conversation just now. I'm going to charge you this much to do that additional thing. Or I'm going to be booking in the job on Wednesday, only if you pay a deposit by 4 o'clock today. Whatever the agreement is, it's written. This is important because if they don't remember it the same way, you find out straight away, right? Because they email you back going, no, that's not how I understood the conversation. And at least you've done it, you've had the discussion before you've done the work or whatever. If they don't disagree now, then what you wrote is the agreed truth. Okay, you've taken control of the narrative a little bit. So tracking is important. You should be emailing from your job management system, of course, because that tracks it and ties it to a job. And that's helpful, stops you searching through emails looking for the one you sent. Number 4, job instructions to your team. This is quite a big topic, so I'll skate lightly over the top. If you instruct your team, you know, right, today we're going to do this, then that, and then this has to happen. You need to remember that. The delivery's coming, Johnny's away, all the things, and then you leave them to it. They've probably forgotten a big chunk of it. Write the stuff down. You should have a site diary. You should have a project plan or a job plan, written instructions for the job. And you can, then when you do kind of your daily brief or your project brief, somebody should write it down in the site diary and it's attached to the plan with the drawings. People can't forget. In my mind's eye, I do see people talking to a bunch of tradies and just sort of issuing a verbal barrage of necessary information, and tradies standing there going, well, I got half of that. Or tradies half an hour later going, can't remember what he said. It's normal. Write things down. Have a system. You can and should have kind of job instructions in your job management system. On the job card, you should have site diary where you can make notes. Right? Every job should have written instructions. Bigger jobs should have a project plan. Don't just give them the drawings and expect them to know what to do. Okay, there should be a project plan or job-specific instructions, and then additional notes can be made in a site diary. Number 5, agreements with your staff. You've got contracts of employment, of course you have, haven't you? And you've got reviews, you've got pay agreements, you've got warnings, you've got leave. You're legally required to keep most of this stuff written down, right? Leave and things like that. Keep records. But it's good anyway to do, right? For the same reasons. What you've agreed should be written so that we're both in agreement about what was agreed, right? So there's no misunderstanding, right? You can send email confirmations. Stuff should be written. You can have HR software like Bright HR or EmploySure, something like that. Those systems for you to use are not even expensive. 2 more. Suppliers. Same with customers, isn't it? If you agreed something, record what you agreed verbally, right? Whether it's prices, discounts, trading terms, delivery arrangements. Put it in an email, attach it to a job in your job management system. Nobody could be confused. Nobody can say I didn't that's not how I remember it. And then number 7, the other shit, right? Phone calls, conversations on a job site, things that occur to you, ideas, stuff like that. Write it somewhere, put it in your day book. If you've got a day book or one of those fat diaries, that's a great place to note it down, because you'll find it, because that's where everything is. So if it's written, it's what happened and it's what was agreed. So this controls situations. You haven't handed control over or left it to your customer hopeful. Right? It prevents misunderstandings at least, and it prevents mistakes. It's part of becoming a business person, right? This is my theme at the moment, isn't it? You've got to act more like a business person if you want a better business, right? Rather than a tradie. Stops you forgetting things, saves you time revisiting stuff that you forgot or that people remember differently. It's a game changer, right? If you don't have this in place for you and for everyone in your team, please get onto it.